Jai Hind everyone, welcome back to the Patriotic Digest. Let's start our daily current affairs. And yes, today we have 6 topics that we will discuss one by one. The first topic is with respect to the National Human Rights Commission. We have seen that the UN associated body has not given the our National Human Rights Commission as the accreditation A, and that's why there is the setback for India, because our voting rights into the different committees of the UN bodies will be affected by it. So it will be part of the GS paper 2 quasi-judicial body. Same time it will be also part of the India's relation with the other organization and the bodies, particularly with the UN. So it will be part of IR as well. So this will be for the mains, and why it was not given. So this will be part of the impact and the what is the functioning and the way National Human Rights Commission is functioning. So it will be the part of, you can use these points as the criticism at the international stage and the lacuna within the National Human Rights Commission. Next news that we will cover is the stabilizing India-Nepal ties into changing times. Here we will see that there has been the change into the coalition partner, those who are into the government. Previously it was the Nepali Congress that was part of the government with the Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachand. Now it has been the Oli Sharma. So Oli Sharma has the anti-negative attitude, and the Nepali Congress has the pro-India attitude. So there has been some of the impact on the India-Nepal ties. So we will see that into the detail. So it will be for the mains perspective. Then we will study that adopting a transformative vision for the mediation. So here the mediation is a form of the alternative dispute resolution. Means whenever there is the dispute between the two parties, two person, two organization, two community, we generally go into the court, the district court, lower court, then high court, supreme court. But there is the alternative. We cannot go to the court in the traditional way. There is the mediator who will ask two parties to come, discuss, make the dialogue, and also in the last come with the solution resolution. So it will reduce the time period for the judgment, as well as it will reduce the pending cases. So it will be for the GS paper 2 legal system and judiciary. So this is very important for the mains. We will try to write a answer for the mains, a question, okay, on the basis of this alternative dispute resolution. Then we will see that the declining poverty ratio, a continuing trend. So here we will see that the different type of the committees such as the Rangarajan committee, Tendulkar committee, Lakadwala committee, what are their estimation, what was their guideline for the estimation of the poverty. So we will see and we will analyze for the mains perspective and different type of the committee when they are formed. So that will be part of the prelims as well. Okay. Then there is the analysis on the smart city mission, why it was a falter, what was the provision, why it failed, and what could be the impact, future implication. All will be discussed with the mains perspective. It could be part of GS paper 1, urbanization, as well as GS paper 3. In the last, we will see that what is the legal position of live-in relationship. Recently, we have seen that one of the case that has been entered into the Supreme Court here, a man is already married and he is living in relationship with the other women. The woman is not married. She is the single, not married. So in that case, what is the legal provision and what are the judicial pronouncement? We know that as per the Supreme Court, if the both couple should be, both party, both male and female, the women and men should be unmarried. Only this live-in relationship judgment or the judicial pronouncement will be implemented. So this will be for the society section, GS paper 1, as well as the constitutional morality. Here it's talked that the live-in relationship cannot be accepted by the society. It is not morally good for the society. But the constitution talks about the something else. It's talk about the justice rationality. So the Supreme Court doesn't care about the social morality. It's care about the constitutional morality, what is being said into the constitution. That will be the basis for the judgment of the Supreme Court. So here you will see that a question already been asked into the 2021 for the constitutional morality. So we will analyze all this thing one by one. Before we are going to enter into the this discussion, let's discuss the 5 questions under Furious 5 session that has been discussed, the topic that has been discussed into the yesterday session. So yesterday we discussed that the different topics, and now today we will try to solve the 5 questions out of those topics so that we can revise as well as we can practice the most probable question that is there is the probability if they can ask into the UPSC. So start with the first question. Consider following countries of the Europe: Iceland, Norway, Liechtenstein, Switzerland. How many of the above countries are landlocked and a member of the European Free Trade Association? So please open your map of the Europe, and here you will see that the Liechtenstein and the Switzerland, they are the landlocked. So it will be the only two. They are the surrounded by the sea, water body, and that's why they are not. Okay. Question number 2. Which of the following sector is not covered by the IIP? Okay, so index of the industrial production. So here mining is covered, manufacturing, this is covered. MSP, this is not any sector. This is associated with agriculture, and this is the price at which the government promised to buy the product from the farmers. So this is a different concept. So this will be the, and this is covered. So this is not covered. So the correct answer is the C. Question number 3. Statement: JNNURM, Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewal Mission, provided financial assistance to state and union territories for the implementation of the urban development project. Which of the following correct regarding the statement? JNNURM provided financial assistance only to the cities with a population below 1 million. So there is no such criteria. The second is it provides financial assistance only to the rural area for the infrastructure development. No, this is incorrect. This provides financial assistance to the state and union territory for the urban development project. So it is the implementation of the urban development project. So very simple, very easy question. This will be the C, that is the correct answer. Okay. So it is not about the private companies for the industrial project. It is for the urban development. So if you will eliminate this 3, the C will be the correct answer. Question number 4. Under the Jawaharlal Nehru National Urban Renewal Mission, which of the following received financial assistance for implementing urban development projects? So yesterday we saw that it is the state government that get the money from the central government. So A will be the correct answer. Last question. Which government agency is responsible for the managing the DG locker? So yesterday we saw that the DG locker, how it could be used. We can use the paperless verification. We can store our different documents such as the Aadhaar certificate, all these things on the DG lockers, and we can save the environment because there will be the less need of the paper. And the physical paper, to manufacture the paper, we need the raw material from the tree. So we need to cut the tree to manufacture the paper. So it comes under the Ministry of Electronics and the Information Technology. So B is the correct answer. This is all about from the previous 5 sessions. Let's start our news analysis with the front page. The front page start with the 4th phase of the Lok Sabha election, and now it is the 67.7% of the turnout. So this is the highest till among all the 4 phases has been voted down. So this is the only thing that you should know. Beside that, there is now we have the completed the 379 constituency, and most of this here the lowest percentage of the turnout is from the Srinagar. That is always the Srinagar. This valley is known for the lowest because there is the insurgency and militancy is going on. So nothing is other thing that is so much important, relevant for the UPSC. Other news is the food inflation that is now surged, and it is the highest. Now it has been reached to the 4.83%. So you will see that there is the change, and it was a little bit higher than the previous month. What is the consumer price index? The consumer price index include the goods and services that we consume and the rate in the price change into the monthly basis. So this is the thing you should know. Other important thing that you should know is the most important thing that is relevant for us is this news. The UN linked body defers the accreditation of the National Human Rights Commission India for the 2nd year in a row. So this is going to impact the voting right of the India into the different bodies of the UN. For example, into the Human Rights Commission, the UN Human Rights Commission, our voting right will be not much, not that much. Why the UN body? The UN body that has differed is the Global Alliance of the National Human Rights Institute. It's provide the accreditation of the A, and now India was continuously getting the A, but for the continuously 2 years we have deferred this accreditation, and that's why it is going to impact our right to vote into the different committee. What is the reason given by this? The first reason is it was the lack of the transparency in appointing the member of National Human Rights Commission. So there is the one chairman and the four other person, four full-time member. So total 5-member body, and most of them are from the judiciary. The chairman is the Chief Justice, retired Chief Justice of India. Okay. So here you will see that there has been the lack of the transparency, that those persons who were appointed into this body, they were not, their credential was not that much as per the Human Rights Commission. Okay. Besides that, we have seen that the appointment of the police officer into this body, that is not suggestive, because if the police is into this body, the police are mostly, they are considered as the violator of the human right. Most of the cases, it is the police who violate the human right of the citizen. So here, if you will start appointing the police officer into this body and oversee the human right investigation, so this will not fair, this will not unbiased. There will be the lack of neutrality. Besides that, we have seen that the lack of the gender and the minority representation. Like the women representation was not there. Besides that, the minority persons, minority members were not fully represented. So these are the reasons you can write, and whenever you are going to criticize the National Human Rights Commission, you can brought all this body. Why this was done? Because of the many of the civil societies across the world, they wrote later to this body, and they asked that in India, the government is not following the human right things, and that's why they question the credential and the record of the India into the implementation of the human right of the people, and that's why this decision was taken. One more thing you should know, that this National Human Rights Commission in India was created by the Protection of Human Rights Act 1993. So these are the information that you should know. The most important is this act, and it was constituted into the 1994. Besides that, you should know that this is not constitutional body, this is a statutory body. The Human Rights Commission, National Human Rights Commission, is not mentioned into the constitution, but the separate law is there, and that's why it is known as a statutory body. So this is all about from the front page. Next important news that we are going to take is the stabilizing India-Nepal ties in changing times. So here we have recently saw the change in alliance into the Nepal. We have seen that the person KP Oli Sharma, who was very much anti-India, now has been the part of the government under the Prachand Communist Party, and now the centralist Nepali Congress has been out of the coalition of the government. So this is the background. India-Nepal relation was very stable. It has been considered as the most stable and most close relation at the initial stage because of the relationship between the people, cultural contact. Even we say the India and the relation between India and Nepal as the roti beti ka rishta. Why roti? Because the people from the Nepal, they come to India to earn the roti, to earn the livelihood. That's why the roti ka rishta. And beti ka rishta, because of that, in the border area of the India and Nepal, the people marry across the border. There is the relationship between the people across the border at the area. For example, if you will go into the border area of the Nepal or the UP or the Uttarakhand, this relationship is common, and that's why it is called as the roti beti ka rishta. And this relationship is unique into the world. Such type of the relationship across the world is rarely found. So that's why this relationship is very important. However, we have seen that there is some of the changes into the Nepal, some of the changes into the politics of the Nepal. For example, the transition from the monarchy to the democracy, the transition from a centralist rule to a federal arrangement into the Nepal, the transition from a Hindu country, a Hindu Rashtra, only Hindu Rashtra of the world to a democratic secular country of the Nepal, that was not smooth. The secular federal democratic republic, that was recent change. If any transition is taking into the any nation, this takes time. If it is very sudden, if it doesn't have the time to make a smooth transition, the relationship become very much unstable, and that has been seen into the Nepal as well. For example, take the transition into the India. India transition was not just into the 1947. We were preparing from the 8080. When the Congress was the form, we started transition of a country, we started building a nation. That's why the initial stage of the Congress that were known as the moderate Congress, moderate leader, they were very much of the view that we are making a nation and building a nation. So India's transition took the 70-80 years. By the 1947, we were preparing. For example, the Nehru report into the 1927, it was one of the example of the constitution. So we started writing the constitution from the 1927. So in the Nepal, it was very sudden. Into the 1990s, there was the Maoist movement, and after that, there was the killing of the family of the Nepal, that kingdom, the king's family. And after that, sudden change from the monarchy to the democracy. So Nepal doesn't get the time for the transition, and that's why we see that a lot of things. Now we have recently saw the corruption and the misgovernance is rampant. And the Chinese intervention, that is the other cause of concern for the ups, down, and the fluctuation into the relation between the China and Nepal and India. So this is all about into this paragraph is given. After that, this writer is talking about the what has been the intervention from the China. The China want to instabilize and malgovernance not only the Nepal, but also want to instigate the terrorist activities into the India. It want China just intermediary, an intermediate place through the Nepal. China wants same type of the terrorism, same type of the anti-state, anti-India activities into the Nepal. And same the Pakistan is supporting in this as per the writer. The writer's credential is that the writer K.V. Rajan, he is the former ambassador to the Nepal, and recently he published a book named Kathmandu Chronicles, Reclaiming India-Nepal Relationship. Okay, so here it is given that the main thing is that in stabilizing, and such thing already India witnessed. In 1999, there was the hijack of the flight IC-814. Okay, such type of the thing if happening into the Nepal, what India should do? India should, at the very initial stage, into the 1990s, what was the India's policy? India's policy was based on the twin pillar. What is the twin pillar? India supported the multi-party democracy. Okay, same time, it supported the king as well. Before the transition to the democracy, India promoted the multi-party democracy, and king as the figurehead, main leader, is at the symbol of the state. So here, India made a close relationship, a very good relationship with all of the parties. But now, when the democracy has been there has been some party who support the India, there are some party who support the China. There is the parties who are the anti-India, there is the parties who are the pro-India. So this is the divide that has been created here. And there is the Chinese role is like the promoting the terrorism, and it's considered the terrorism, such type of the terrorism promoted into the India as the good terrorism. China has the two view. One is the good terrorist, other is the bad terrorist. Who are the supportive of the Chinese? Those terrorists are considered as the good terrorists by the China. Okay, because they are supporting the interest of the China. So China doesn't consider this terrorist activities as the bad terrorism. Okay. Besides that, you will see that India has the support. India is not isolated. Even if the Chinese influence is there, India has already other wing. India has the presence into the bilateral and the multilateral organization and the initiative. For example, theoretically, we are the part of the Quad. Not theoretically, practically. We are the membership of the Quad, where the Australia, Japan, and United States, they are the part. Indo-Pacific and the other grouping, that Here, the close watch on the China's move to expand its influence through its means and the foul. The Chinese action are not just observed by the India, it is being observed by the other countries because they think that the Chinese intervention is causing the instability. We have recently seen the instability in the Sri Lanka as well. Okay. Here you will see that the India has been playing its card reasonably well. Okay, so keeping the low profile, India do not want to intervene into the internal politics of the Nepal. Presently, we don't want to intervene. However, there is always the question, the two questions where India should take a stand. As per the writer is telling that now the demand in the Nepal is again to restore the monarchy, bring the king again. The second demand in the Nepal is of the democracy. They don't want democracy to be that much deep in. It want it under the monarchy. The second thing is that they are also thinking about the Hindu nation identity. They want to bring again the Hindu nation identity of the Nepal, and the India's stand is very important. Okay. So here the India could offering a new and holistic development roadmap which would be excite the public imagination. So a writer is of the view India should not go into this type of the question, because if you will go with this type of the question, for example, if India will take the stand of the Hindu nation, there will be the anti-India sentiment by those people who do not want Nepal as to be Hindu nation, they want it to be secular nation. So if India will take any of the stand, either the Hindu nation or the secular nation of the Nepal identity, there will be the supportive and the opposing view. Even if India will go for the federal or the non-federal arrangement into the Nepal, again there will be the divide, there will be the anti-India sentiment. In that case, the writer is suggesting that India should not go into the DJ area. India should go with the ideas and the issue where every people are facing that issue. For example, in the Nepal, most of the people, they are facing the issue of the joblessness. So if India will create the job, everyone will support. If India will work into the education, food, nutrition, child development, gender and the job, all this thing will have the holistic support, consensus, because no one is going to, if you will go to build the hospital, will anyone oppose that? Everyone will have to go into the hospital. But if you will take the stand on the whether Nepal should be the Hindu nation or the secular nation, there will be the opposition and the supportive view. But if you are working on the developmental issue, the people, all the people will have the same view that yes, India is doing good work. So India's sentiment should be always into such a manner that every person, there should not be division on the view. Okay, that is the suggestion. And for that, high level Indian attention is needed. And also India need to implement all this thing in a time bound manner. Recently we have seen that the India's activities and the delayed in its project, that has been the cause of concern. In the Iran, we have seen that the Chabahar port was built up by the India and it delayed for the long. In the Myanmar, we were also making the port and that was delayed, and there was the negative sentiment against the Indian project. Chinese is leading in this case. China has always completed their project on the time-bound manner. Indian delays into the project has been the cause of concern, and that's why India's effort should be to complete all its project into the time-bound manner. Okay. Besides that, we need to create the linkage not only with their leaders, but also with the civil societies, even with the demographic dividends. What is the demographic dividend? The young people of the Nepal. Here we need to bring, and we need to foster a sense for the Nepalese to equality and sovereignty space. Okay. So here, the type of the big brothers and the small brother syndrome, that is between the India and the Nepal, that should be the eliminated, and it is the India as a big brother should work on this issue. We should not force like a big brother. We should be give the equal space for the Nepal to choose its option. There is the two type of the big brothers. They impose their view. Those other big brothers, they are just making the equal partnership with the smaller brothers. So India's main view should be that India should provide the space for the neighboring countries, those smaller countries, and that's why we should follow the Gujarat principle. The Gujarat principle that talks about the disproportionate support, means without asking them to support us or the give us equal benefit to us in each area, just what we want, we support them, we give assistance to them, and we just ask them to stand with India into the international fora. Don't give your land for the anti-India activities. Don't give your land for the terrorist activities. Okay, so all these things that should be considered. So this is a very holistic news analysis with respect to the India-Nepal relation, and this is very crucial part of the GS paper 2, where we talk about the India and its neighbors. So please be very careful of all these things. That is all from this news analysis. Next important news that we are going to take again from the editorial, and this is important for the legal system of the India. It will give that what is the legal system of the India and how we can resolve the issue that is being faced. For example, it is talking about the adopting a transformative vision for the mediation. What is the mediation? You must have listened about the mediation, the person who coming between the two people, and they create a platform where the two people can discuss, talk, and resolve their issue. If I have some dispute with the other person, I need a third person as a mediator. He come and make a platform where we can resolve. Generally, what will happen? Traditionally, what we do? We generally go into the court, and court takes a lot of time. The mediation, this is the legal system. By that, we go into the court, and for the court, I will bring the information to you that in the Indian court there is near about more than 5 crore of the pending cases that is there. And out of this into the district court 4.5 crore. This is not into the 1,000, 100 or the lakhs. This is the crore, the cases into the crores. Okay. Into the high courts, just one high court into the one state. Over all the cases that are pending into the high courts is the 61 lakhs. In all India level, there is just one Supreme Court, and in the Supreme Court there is the 80,000 pending cases. Okay, 80,000. Can you imagine? To resolve these cases, as per the Chief Justice of India, we will take near about more than 200 years. Okay. The number of the pending cases is very high. The time taken by the to resolve one case, to a verdict to be delivered into the one case, take lot of time. Many a times 30 years, 40 years. Means if I will be now file a case, the judgment will come when there will be my grandson will be there. I will be about to die, last stage of my time, then I will get the verdict. So a type of such thing, that delayed justice is the denied justice. What is the use of the justice when this is the delayed? For example, recently there was the case, the verdict, the case was filed into the 1975. The verdict came into the 2021. The litigants, the accused and both the victims and the accused both died before the verdict came. This is the situation into the Indian judiciary, and that's why we need some other method, and this is known as the alternative dispute mechanism, and mediation is one of the type of the alternative dispute mechanism. Alternative dispute mechanism means you don't have to go into the court. Court will provide a person as a mediator, and there that mediator will help the people into the dispute to come together, discuss their issue, and they can resolve amicably. They will go, and generally this type of the mediation is possible when there is the civil cases. For example, if there is the land dispute, if there is a dispute with respect to the marriage, divorce, inheritance, adoption, I want to adopt a child, there is the dispute with respect to the legal mother, original mother, adopted mother. Such type of the cases, mediation is possible because the both party will come and discuss. They will know that into the cases both will lose. Even if I will win a case and the delivery of the verdict will be after 40 years, even I will lose, despite it is my favor. What will be the use of that judgment? So if the mediation is there, the both party will come and they will discuss, and that why the amicable solution is possible. That is the main point of the discussion, and it is point of the discussion because the Indian government, the government of the India, the union government, they are of the view that they have agreed, and that's why they have brought the Mediation Act of 2023. So this has made the mediation a legal process, and it will be a different type of the mediation process that has been mentioned. For example, it will be the pre-litigation. Before even you go to the court, you are going for the mediation. Litigation is the court process. Generally in the normal traditional court, you go into the police station, after that the court, you file the case, and after the hearing that goes on. Court annexed the mediation. The case is into the litigation already, that has been filed. There has been the 6 month. Your mind, you came to understand. You can comprehend the thing that yes, this is not possible. It is better to go for the mediation. The court will not resolve the issue in a time-bound manner. So, court annex mediation, online platform, and the community mediation. Maybe there could be a dispute between the community. For example, the Ram Janambhoomi, Hindu community, Muslim community, two community were fighting. So mediation between the community as well as possible. Okay. So the writer is talking about that the government has brought this, and what is the main purpose. Here the government, the writer has brought that, for example, insolvency and the bankruptcy code has been brought by the government in 2016. What is the insolvency and the bankruptcy code? Generally, whenever I open a company and after the company that is not running well, there is the failure into the company, I am not able to run it successfully, so I want to close. But the laws are so much, there is lot of law that you have to pay your employee that much money. I don't have the money, that's why my company is failing. How I can pay my employee for the 3 month extra? Not now. So that's why there is lot of law that even if I want to close my company, that law doesn't allow. It says that you have to pay lot of things. And that's why insolvency and bankruptcy code came, that if I declare that yes, I am insolvent person, I don't have the money to pay, so there will be a procedure by that my company will be sold in a reasonable price. All the person who are stakeholder into that, I must have taken some borrowed, so I can pay my borrow the debt. Also the companies, the employees can be paid, and also I will get something. So this is the insolvency and bankruptcy case, and again it is a synergistic, means it associate both the legal and the mediation process. Further, this mediation process by this, it is mainly the uniting the parties into the dispute. Okay. Mahatma Gandhi once said that, Mahatma Gandhi's quotation is very important. You can quote anywhere. So one of the Mahatma Gandhi quotation is that the main purpose of the lawyers, it is not to take a side of the one of the party. The main purpose of the lawyer is to create uniting party, integrate the parties. Both parties, if they are fighting, the lawyer should integrate them, comprehend and let them know that what is the common ground, what are the win-win situations for the both parties. This is the main thing, and mediation is the only a tool to achieve this common ground. Okay. So here the mediator is a peacemaker. He is not the taking the side and fighting with the one person. He is the peacemaker. He make it understand the people for that he is fighting the case, that what is the beneficial thing for that person, how the peace can be achieved. He can create a platform where the open dialogue and allow individual to express their emotions, grievances. Generally people when come to each other, they express their grievances, that yes, this is the issue I am facing and this is the issue you are facing, so why not come on a common ground? If there is the land dispute, take the example of there is the 10 acre of the land. I am claiming for the 8 acre, other person is claiming for the 5 acres. If they are fighting for the long time, if there is the common ground, if they will talk to each other, they will come that yes, let's leave that everything. Instead of the 8 acre, just give me 6 acres. Instead of the 5 acres, just take the 4 acres and both will be happy. And that case, both will have the win-win situation. So in that cases, this mediation is very important. The other thing is that the writer is talking about in India, the mediation process is not that much efficient. Why? Because here we see that the mediators, the aspiring mediators are required to have 15 years of the professional experience. Okay. So here the training process, the education process is itself very difficult. The mediators have to be separately trained. They will have, there is the eligibility of the 15 years of the professional experience, and only then the mediator's post, he can go for the mediator's post. Okay. So here the writer is talking about that there is the other way we can integrate this education of mediation with the normal law graduation and the post graduation syllabus. Generally what happens, this mediators, they have the different type of the tendency. For example, when they go for the traditional court cases, they have a type of the tendency of advocacy. They will take the side of the one party. For that they are fighting the case. They generally try to justify the stand of the one party. But whenever it's come into the mediation, it brings the neutrality, impartiality, and unbiased commitment. In the mediation, the lawyer, the expert have to show that he is neutral, he is unbiased, and he is the impartial. Only then the trust can be built. So here you will see that there is the process of the learning on learning. In the law college, when we go, we learn for the advocacy, take the side with our client. But whenever we come into the mediation process, we try to learn and unlearn the advocacy and learn the neutrality, unbiasedness. You don't have to show that you are biased with one party. You have to show that you want a beneficial ground for the both parties. So here the writer is telling that we need a integrated learning that allow the legal profession to wear multiple hats. It will be advocate when it will go for the traditional cases, and it will be neutral person, it will be a mediator, an unbiased person when he comes for the mediation process. Okay, so here you will show that now we have the mutually exclusive ground. But if we will integrate both of them, then the same person can have the knowledge and the knowledge of the traditional court as well as the mediation competency. Okay. So here you will see that the integration of this type of the integration, now we have the two process of doing that. Now what we are doing, co-mediation and the shadow mediation. The training, the expert, those who are going to take as the post of the mediators, there is the two way of the learning, co-mediation. In the co-mediation, there will be a person, a trainee will be work as the mediator with the senior mediator. A person expert, senior expert mediator, he will be with the senior person, and he will be directly involved into the mediation process as well as he will learn the nuances, because the senior will be guiding these co-mediators. Okay, so here this is the one process. The shadow process, here again there will be the senior expert officer who will be involved in the mediation, but those trainees, they will just observe without directly involving. Into the co-mediation, this person was involving as well as he was making a common ground. He was involving the other parties to talk dialogue. He was actively participating. But into the shadow mediation, here the officer has just to sit down into the corner and observe how the senior expert is doing, how there is the process that is going on. This is the process. Okay. So here again, the writer is talking about that this both process can be made more effective only when all the syllabus, the student of the law college will be integrated with all this process at a very initial stage when they are into the graduation and the post graduation. So that is the main thing that the writer is talking about, to embed a structure of the mediation training module within the law school curriculum. That is the main thing, that is the missing now. And in the last, he has concluded, the writer has concluded that this mediation process will bring a more harmonious, efficient and just society. Because the legal cases will be very low. The people will be not that much enmity to each other. Enmity will be lesser. For example, we can resolve normal traditional process. I and you as a relative or a brother, they are fighting for their land for the multiple years. But mediation process that can resolve this all the fighting dispute within 6 months, one years. For example, this insolvency and bankruptcy code. In this process, there is the time-bound manner. Within 365 days, you have to resolve all these cases, all these insolvency matter. So in the same case here, into the mediation process, all the dispute will be resolved in a time-bound manner, and that's why it will be ultimately bring the peace into the society. This is all about from this news analysis, and this is very important. That's why we will write a mains answer. Just see the question. You have to write the answer for this. We will discuss the approach and the answer tomorrow. With example, discuss the significance of alternative dispute resolution mechanism in light of costly and time-consuming litigation process. So here it will be for the 250 words and 15 marks. So this marks and the words are missing. Please note down in your notebook. So it is for the 250 words and 15 marks. Okay. So again, with example, you have to bring the example. What could be the example? Mediation is one of the example. We already have discussed. You can discuss the mediation as an example. What is the significance? You can bring the reduction in the time into the resolution of the dispute. The money will be lesser. There will be the common understanding of the both party. Both party can win. It is not that going to the in the favor of the one party. Generally, into the traditional code, what happen? If there is the judgment, either you win, you lost. But in mediation, both party will compromise. Means I will compromise that if there is the land dispute for the 10 acres. So I will agree that instead of 7 acres, just give me 5 acres, I am happy. The other person is also happy that instead of the 3, he is getting 5. So someone is gaining a small. It is not that one is getting the 10 acres, other is getting 0. One is for the overall loss. So here it will be for the, it will create the common ground, and beside that it will help into the utilization of the resources. For example, if there is the land dispute, for the 10 years no one is going to do agriculture farming. So for the 10 years that land is just fallow, there is no activity. So you can use the economic perspectives. Yes, better economy for the overall our society. So all this thing you can bring. In the last you can conclude that this process should be made more means our syllabus of the college of the law university should be integrated with this alternative dispute mechanism. Beside that, the people should make there should be the more awareness for the people, so that the people can know that what are the benefits and what are the procedure, so that the more and more people will go for that. This will be all about for this question. Next important news, again it is from the editorial, and both editorial, they are not that much relevant for the UPSC. First editorial, this is just talking about the number of the constituency that is taken into the 4th phase. It is 96 overall number that has crossed 379. So it has crossed the magic number of the proving the majority, that is the 272. So here for the 379, since we already have completed this election process, and the main issue has been like the caste and the religion. Here the unique thing that has been seen that there has been the unsavory exchange of the statement between the principal opposition party and the Election Commission of the India. The principal opposition party, they have accused the Election Commission of India not taking action against the Prime Minister Modi when he is making so much communal and the casteist comments. So here this is the issue that is going on, all this thing that is going on in the previous election, what was the case. Okay. The next editorial, again, it is talking about the judgment of a case under that one of the activists, Dabholkar, he was a person, he was activist into the Maharashtra area, and he was acting against the superstition. Means if the people are practicing superstition, he used to go and explain that what is the reason behind the things. For example, the people can believe so many things that is not real, that is just manipulation. So here he used to go and try to explain the thing, and most of the superstitious things are associated with the religion, and that's why he was offending the many of the religious person and the religious organization. One of the religious organization that was accused for the conspiracy behind the killing of the Dabholkar was the Sanatan Sansatha. So here you will see that despite there is the conviction of the two-person, and two-person they were convicted, but still the thing is that the main conspirator has not been brought to justice. Okay, so this is the thing. Two-person has been sentenced for the life imprisonment. So this is the verdict from the additional session judge. So this is now from the district level, and it took the 10 years. This case, this assassination took place in 2013, and now 2024 this verdict has been come. The other thing is that there was the 3 more murders between 2013 and 2017, and those were again the same type of the activist like the Govind Pansare, again from the Maharashtra, M.M. Kalburgi, he was academician, and the Gauri Lankesh. So she was a journalist. All were killed into the same type of the conspiracy. For example, the gun used to kill the Gauri Lankesh, the same gun was used to kill the Kalburgi as well. And it shows that there was a single syndicate that they were active to eliminate their adversaries who were going to bring some clarity with the superstitious thing and offending their sentiment as per their claim. So this is the thing that is here. You can use this into your society section whenever the question is on the superstition, on the different concern and the issue challenges associated with the Indian society. Next important news that we are going to take is again, this is from the opinion page, and it is talking about the declining poverty ratio. So here this is talking that recently we have seen that the poverty ratio have been declined by the different study. So here there has been the 3 type of the committee report, and their study has been mentioned. The first is the Rangarajan committee of the poverty line. So what is this poverty line and what is this committee? We have constituted different committees to study that what should be the minimum line. We will consider that if a family or if a person is earning, then it will be considered that the person or the family is out of the poverty line. Here it is the per capita, and 3 committee that has been studied is the Rangarajan committee. This is the latest report. Before that we had the Tendulkar committee, and before that it was the Lakadwala committee. Lakadwala committee, it was 1993. Then it was Tendulkar committee, and after Tendulkar committee it was the Rangarajan committee, here the Tendulkar committee. So Lakadwala committee that considered only the calories for the considering the poverty line. If in the rural area the family has the consumption for the per capita consumption into the rural area, if it is the 2400 calories, and it is for the rural area. For the urban area it was considered 2100 calorie. If they are consuming more than this, so it will be considered that they are out of the poverty line. They will be not considered as the poverty family. Okay. Then this is the Lakadwala committee. Lakadwala committee. Okay. After that it was the Tendulkar committee. Tendulkar committee added the clothing and housing. The amount of clothing plus housing. And he came up with the money term into the monetary term, that what should be the measurement, and he came up with the 400 400 something for the rural area, because into the rural area the expenditure is low as compared to the urban area. So it was the 445 rupees, I think. Where is this? Where is the Tendulkar committee? Yes, where is this? What is the monetary term? Okay, here it is the 446 rupees and 578 rupees for the urban area. This is for the rural area and this is for the urban area. Okay. Later, the Rangarajan committee came up with the further improvement, that he brought that not only this clothing and housing is important. Beside that, whatever they are eating, the food should include the nutrients, and that's why into the Rangarajan committee increases the per capita income ceiling. So it brought that it will be the 550 rupees something for the rural area, and for the urban area it was a bit higher, 600 something, because into the urban area the expenditure is high. So this is all about from these three committees that has been given. So here, as per the report, we have find that the report, it is coming from the National Sample Survey Organization. Now it has been replaced with the National Sample Survey Organization, National Statistical Office, and SO. Previously it was an SSO and CSO. Now the combination of them has been turned into the National Statistical Office, NSO. Okay. So, and as per the NSO data, now there has been the reduction into the poverty as well as inequality. So inequality is measured by the Gini coefficient. So please remember the Gini coefficient, it is to measure the inequality. It is measured between the 0 and 1. If it is 0, it means that everyone is equal, absolute equality. If it is 1, then it is the absolute inequality. No one is equal. So generally the data that is provided between the 1 and 2, and India's inequality has reduced because of the consumption, and the income of the people has improved and poverty has declined. So this is all about from this news. Okay. Here Gini coefficient that has declined from the 0.278 to 0.269. Further, there has been the decline between the two periodic time. One is between 2011-12 to the 2022-23. So the other period that has been taken between the 2004-5 to 2011. So this is all about from this news article. Next news is talking about the measles vaccine, and now as per the data, the measles that is mainly due to a type of the virus that is known as the measles as well as the rubella virus. We have seen that into the different part of the world, due to the vaccination, the increase into the vaccination has been from the 20% to now 70%. Besides that, the vaccination of the diphtheria, pertussis and the tetanus has been increased. Here the different period where this vaccination was shown. So you will see that the continuous increase into the vaccination and the continuous decrease into the cases of the disease. Okay, so these are the cases of the disease that is decreasing, and there has been the continuous increase into the vaccination. So vaccination, increase in vaccination means the decrease into the disease that has been found across the different part of the world, and it has resulted into the decline into the infant mortality rate. So you have to remember that the measles, it is due to the measles virus or the rubella virus. The second thing is that the vaccination has increased, and that has resulted into the decrease into the disease. Okay. Next news, again, this is from the text and the context. It is talking about an overview of the smart city mission. So this is smart city mission that was started into the 2015. It has been considered by the NDA government that it will be the master stroke, and we are going to change the overall, the shape, the status, all the condition of the cities into the major cities into the India. So here you will see that the main definition of the smart city has not been defined into the any of the context. However, there has been the change into the perception of the smart city. Maybe, and it also changed the definition of the smart city from the place to place. For example, 100 years back, what has been considered as the smart city into the Europe is now will be considered the smart city in India. For example, 100 years back, what has been the parameter for the London as the smart city? For the India, it could be now the parameter for the smart city. That's why there is the change into the perception of the smart city. There is no proper definition. In a near about, what it means? It means that the integration of the different component of the services of the city with the IT services, information and technology, information and the telecommunication services. For example, you integrate all the governance system on the your digital media, all thing that is being governed by the physical interaction, if it is integrated with the your computers and the digital media, one of this component is considered as the smart city. Yes, beside that, here it is given that the intellectual city with the advanced ICT, information and communication technology, that is main thing. And here all these facilities and the major area, for example, airport, highways, railway station, all is being integrated into the one single system. It may be you can get the information of the how the different scheduling of the airplane at the airport is there, the train is there, how the congestion into the different part of the highway is there. You can go through your digital, your smartphone, and you can control all this thing. Your governance, such as the electricity supply, for example, you can go for the water supply. All this has been integrated with the ICT, with the intellectual people living there. Okay. In India, under this we brought the 100 of the cities, and we thought that by the 2020 we will complete all these projects. Before that, it is not that in the 2015, the first time this smart city concept comes. The smart city concept was already there in the form of the Jawaharlal Nehru Urban Renewal Mission, and it was started into the 2008 itself. Okay, so later when the NDA government came, they changed the name. They changed it the Smart City Mission. Okay, the main component of Smart City Mission is the redevelopment, the city renewable. Means already there is the city, we are going to renew the same city. For example, if there is the house and already we are going to again, we can again paint the walls, we can change the different appliance that is already malfunctioning. The same is the retrofitting. Retrofitting means in the same city we are including some other part. For example, in this house I can bring the kitchen in a modern form. Modular kitchen can add, I can add the my washroom in a much modern terms. Again, the one other component is the greenfield project. Greenfield project means already the city is there. I am making the extension of the city. Maybe this Gorakhpur is, for example, if you take the example of the Delhi, Delhi has been confined to the area. You can imagine that the area like the Hajj Khas. But later you can extend the city to the Gurugram. Previously it was the Gurgaon, now it is the Gurugram. So city extension, and you are developing the extended part. So these were the component, and pan city solution based on the ICT. Means everywhere, whenever you talk about the smart city, you talk about the ICT. The government brought the specific area under this development program: e-governance, waste management, water management, energy management, urban mobility, skill development. Urban mobility means transportation, and energy management, your connection with the smartphone to the different part of your house. Okay, so that you can control. Maybe you are into the office, you recall that yes, my geyser is on. You didn't switch off your AC in the office. You can switch off your AC. Or you can control you can integrate your power supply from the traditional supply coal field as well as the renewable energy. Maybe you have the rooftop solar energy. So here all these things, skill development, and for this we assigned 2 lakh crore rupees. Okay, 2 lakh crore rupees for all this development, and it was considered that it will be developed by the public private partnership. Government cannot develop all this thing in alone. They were bringing the public private partnership, and they also went for the special measure and special purpose vehicle. This is considered as the separate type of the act, separate type of the body that was registered under the Company Act to develop all this thing, all this project that was brought under this. Here it is given that the how many project has been completed till now. We have completed 8,000 project under this, and out of 2 lakh we have already spent expenditure is 1,67,000 crore rupees. Now still we have the 16% of this fund that is still not spent, and we have near about 5,000 project that is already into the process, and 400 project that is considered that is still the last date of the completion of this project, June 2024, will be not able to be completed. So this is the position, and as we expected that by the public private partnership the private player will bring the more money, but till now only 5% has been brought up by this public private route. So mostly 95% of the thing is being done by the government alone. Government project is there. Are you able to understand now what is the public-private partnership? Here the government and the private player, maybe the Ambani, Adani, Tata, they will be collaborate with the government, and then they will develop the project. But the thing is that only 5% has been where the partnership of the private player has been there. 95% is coming from the budget of the government. Okay. Why it failed? The main thing is that the city was selected on the basis of the flawed criteria. Mainly there was the competition for the selection of the city, that the more cities would be coming from the my state, their state, and that's why there was no proper criteria for selecting the city. Besides that, in India there is the diversity of the different cities. Maybe the city into the Rajasthan has some other demand, maybe the city into the Kerala has some other demand because they had the coastal area. The city into the Rajasthan, Udaipur, have the that is the desert area. Maybe the city situated on the hill station has some other demand. However, the government just depended on the top-down approach. The central government made one approach and tried to implement all these into the all city, irrespective of the diversity. Okay, so it was very much diverse from the ground reality. What is the needed to the people? It was not being asked directly. The government thought that this is the thing and that is necessary, and they impose all this thing. Okay. Beside that, you will see that this become exclusionary, means even into the cities it was not whole city that was developed. Here it is given example of the Chandigarh. In the Chandigarh, just one sector 43 has been given most of the money that was given for the whole of the Chandigarh. So you will see that all the projects such as the water meter, Wi-Fi zone, solid waste management program, all were implemented in the one pocket. Okay. Beside that, you will see that the need for the smart city development, if you want to make Indian cities livable, where the people, where the human can live in a good environment into the different type of the amenities, at least we need $1.2 trillion. So if you will convert $1.2 trillion it into the billion, so 1 trillion is equal to 1,000 billion. So here it will be 1,200 billion. And it is into the dollar. And the money provided by the government was just 2 lakh of the 2 lakh crore. Where is that? It is 2 lakh crore that we provided. 2 lakh crore. This is into the rupees. Can you imagine? This is into the dollar, billion rupees and 2 lakh rupees. If you will convert this into the rupees, it will be near about if you will convert this into the million, so again you should multiply with the 1000 and then it will come into the 12,000 plus 3 zeros. So you will find that 12 lakh dollar, 12 lakh dollar. Okay, even if you will multiply with the 80, then it will come into the rupees. So if you will calculate all this thing, this will come just about 0.027% of the needed money. This 2 lakh crore rupees is just 0.02% of the 1.2 trillion dollar, and that's why one of the reasons for the failure. Already we discussed that it is too top bottom, that the central government is dictating everything and it is implemented on the ground without knowing the what is the ground reality. Okay. You will also see that according to the World Bank, more than 49% of the population living in the slum, and the slum area was not focus area under this smart city project, and other reason for the failure of this. Okay. So you will see that because of infrastructure development project that is provide and dismantle water channel contour. Okay. So due to this smart city program, there has been so many change into the city landscape. They have interrupted the environment and the many of the natural environment and the natural ecosystem, and it has resulted into the urban flood. Recently we have seen that as more intensification of the smart city project, there has been the more flood into the urban area, and it is only due to they have destroyed and disrupted the water channel and the contour that was natural. So these are the negative impact of all these things. So you can know what is the basic about the smart city mission. You should also bring the what are the component of this. Here it is given that what are the component, how much money we allotted, and why it failed in this section. This is all about from this news analysis, and maybe now it has been not into the main point of the discussion. It is silent into this year of the manifesto of the BJP, but the UPSC can ask the question because the completion time for this smart city project is the June 2024, and the maybe examination that will be into the September. So this is all about from this news analysis. The next important news that we are going to take is what is the legal position of the live-in relationship. So here you will see that the one thing that is important, you should know that there is no law for the live-in relationship. The live-in relationship has been considered and recognized only by the one of the major judgment that was from the Allahabad High Court, Payal Sharma versus the Nari Niketan case. Here the High Court recognize that if a man and a woman, they are living without getting the rituals of the marriage, they will be considered as the married, and all the law that apply for the married couple will be applied for those who are living into the live-in relationship. So this is important. There is no law. You should remember, if the UPSC asks that there is the separate dedicated law for the live-in relationship, so that statement will be incorrect. There is no law, but the High Court has brought recognition of this under the Payal Sharma versus the Nadir Niketan case, and here it has brought that whatever the situation, if the couple are living for a long time in a single space as the husband and wife, they will consider as the married couple, and all the laws such as the law for the inheritance, law for the adoption, law for the maintenance, if there is a divorce, you need maintenance, all will be applied. This is into the news due to the Sneha Devi and Muhammad Saddam Khan case. In this case, here you will see that in this case, the case is that women is single women, but the man who is involved is already married, and he is living with the live-in relationship with the Sneha Devi. So the case was filed by the Muhammad Saddam Khan into the Supreme Court that the family of the Sneha Devi, they have registered a file against the Muhammad Saddam Khan for the abducting the Sneha Devi and asking for the extortion. So the Muhammad Saddam Khan reached to the Supreme Court and said that as per the Article 21, right to life, there should be the protection that should be given to us, and as per the judgment, we should be considered as the married couple. However, already the person is married. That's why the Supreme Court said that as per the law into the Islam or the Muslim, a person who is already married is not allowed to live in relationship, and that's why the Article 21 will not apply to you. So this is the case if they would have not been, if the person would have not been married before. So the live-in relationship order and judgment would have been applied, but here it is not applying because already the person is there. So there is the conflict between this, the morality, social morality and the constitutional morality. The social morality prevent the such relationship, however the constitutional morality that talk about to the right to life under Article 21 apply. And you will see that the UPSC has asked already the question based on this concept into the 2021. The question here. Constitutional morality is rooted in the Constitution itself and it is founded on its essential facet. Explain the doctrine of the constitutional morality with help of the relevant judicial decision. Recently, there was a case with respect to the entry of the women into the Sabrimala. In that case, the Supreme Court brought with the constitutional morality. The social morality is that the women are impure when they are going through their menstruation, and that's why they are not allowed to enter into the women. But the Supreme Court said that you keep your morality with yourself. We follow the law. As per the law, Article 14 and Article 21 talk about the right to equality and right to life. So women should be treated same as the men, and they should be allowed into the entry of the into the temples. That's why the constitutional morality is different from your social morality. Society can consider something as the good or bad, but the Supreme Court will follow the whatever has been written into the Constitution, and that will be the morality of the Supreme Court and the law. So this is all about from this news. Now we will see that what is the next news that is relevant. Already we have discussed the population data, so we will not go into the detail. The next important news that we will take, let's see that, yes, this is important news that already we know that the China is the largest importer. So here you should know that the China has remained the largest importer to the India, and now we have reached the import from the China is the highest. It is near about $101 billion, that is creating the deficit, the trade deficit with the China. Overall, India's trade deficit. Besides that, you should also know that Russia has become the second largest importer. India, Russia, from the Russia, Russia is the second largest country where we are bringing the import of the China. So these are the two things you should remember. Last thing that we will cover is this place, this beautiful place. This is the mixture of the scenic beauty and traditional buildings. This is from the China, and the name of the place is the Hong Kong South Lake. This is into the Eastern China, and this is under the UNESCO World Heritage Site. This is the combination of the natural beauty and the traditional form of the building. So this is into the picture. That's why this will be the part of our discussion. So this is all about from the today's news analysis. From the today's newspaper, we have covered most of the relevant news. Here we will conclude our session. Thank you for joining this session. All the best. Jai.